Good morning, boys and girls. How are we today? What have I got here? I see something I don't like. I just see something I don't like. There's lots of creepy crawlers here in Florida. And this product's not bad. I mean, you know, it just kills the queen. Destroys the mound. Sounds like a great advertisement, don't it? But the problem is, and here's a little colony right here. See that little colony right there? You don't want to disturb the nest. Don't disturb the nest. But you get your Amdro right here. Your Amdro. And what you do, it's just a little light sprinkle here. Okay? A little light sprinkle. That's it. That's it. Bye-bye, ants. Bye-bye. See, they're already coming out. They're already coming out. And they grab those granules and take it deep down into the nest. And they feed it to Mama Bear. And then Mama Bear falls over dead. I love it. I just love it. I just love it, love it, love it. Other creepy, crawly things that can get us, you know, guys? Viruses. Yeah. Can start wiping out the human race. Viruses. I got something over here. Got a few things to show you today. Let's show you this one. Speaking of viruses, here's a virus killer right here. Look at that. You know what that is? Look at that slow moving honey, guys. Hopefully I've got a whole 5 gallons of this coming from one of my beekeeping buds. Martin. Michigan Martin. Old Michigan Martin. Quite a enterprising young man. Yes, he is. He's into all kind of stuff. He's been a beekeeper for a while, and we've become pretty good friends. And sometimes when he's down, he burns me off some queen bees. He usually gets some very good quality stock to breed from. My personal choice is just walk-away splits from, try to find good colonies, walk-away splits. I just don't seem to have the patience. I can do grafting. It just eats up too much of my time, and I just, when it's time to do splits, I just dive in there and start pulling, you know, quality material out of tame hives is what was my thing. But anyway, I got this honey where I was going with the Martin. This particular honey here, he gave me 2 jars of this last season, and here's the last jar. But what I'm doing, I go to my grocery store and I get already peeled garlic, or organically grown garlic, if that makes a difference. And I fill this jar up to about here with already peeled, so I'm getting lazy again, see, with already peeled, and then I just top it out. Put the lid on, snug it a little bit, set it on the counter. You'll come back, and if you do this in the morning, you're going to come back in the evening and crack the lid, and you're going to hear a little hiss. It's starting to gas off. It's starting to ferment, which creates gas. And so this goes on for like 3 days, and like on the 3rd day, if you don't burp this thing, that lid gets tight. I'm telling you, tight. So you burp it, and then I put it in the fridge. That's why this is so thick right now. If you used to leave this on the counter, and it starts to thin too, because the garlic is fermenting and it's getting more liquidy. But I'll tell you what, guys, you feel a cold coming on or something, you get a scratchy throat, you know the feeling, right? Hey, dip in there with a long handled teaspoon and dip out one of them garlic cloves and pop it in your mouth. Get honey on the spoon also. Crunch that up, swallow her down, rinse it down with a little agua. It'll kick a cold virus's ass in a heartbeat. I'm telling you, this is great medicine right here. Why well, I know why. Our corrupt ass medical system, they don't do this kind of, natural stuff anymore. It's ridiculous what they're doing. Poisoning everybody with these freaking pills and stuff that do basically nothing. I mean, granted, they came up with penicillin, but yeah, this stuff here is just fantastic, guys. So anyway, what have I got over here? Let's look over here and see what I got. The Santa Claus guys came like 10 o'clock last night, of all things. And Miss Daisy said, I think I heard a truck out there. I said, what? A truck? She said, yeah, you're supposed to get an Amazon delivery. I said, are you kidding me? This late at night? So what do we got here, guys? What's old Steve-O got here in his Christmas stocking? Oh my God, look at this, guys. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, guys? Check it out. Look at this. Look at that. Man Lake. Look at that. Medium frames, guys. 60 of them. I just fired up the crock pot. I loaded up with more wax. I got to work bees this morning. So we'll get out here in a minute and get into the bees and see what we got going on there. But yeah, we got some bee work to do today. Oh, I want to show you something here real quick. Let me show you this. Yeah, guys, I was down on the waterfront yesterday. I've had this trap down there for 3 weeks or more. And then I noticed, and I wasn't getting any hit. Well, I went down there about 3 days, and yellow jackets were just pounding in the freaking jar. I mean, it was ridiculous. But then, let's see what happens here. Looks to me like I'm gonna have another swarm in there a day or so. That's a big thumbs up, baby. Let's hit the start button again. Alrighty, Rick, Martin, Gary. I just came up here and there was 5 bees sitting right here on the entrance of this friggin' disc. See, they're flying around now. I just put another jar on them. They're coming in and out. They're coming in and out of my trap. So I don't know if there's a mini swarm in here now or not, but you can see them right now. They're coming in. Yeah, they're coming in. Look at them coming in and out of this, in and out of my trap. So the scouts are definitely checking it out. Scout bees are checking it out. Looks to me like I'm gonna have another swarm in there a day or so. That's a big thumbs up, baby. How cool is that, guys? How cool is that? You'll notice here, if you can make it out, I've got these. These are bamboo skewers. There's 4 of them running across there. 3 or 4. I think this trap's got 3. And then I painted, they poke out the other side of the bucket too. And I painted them, the entire inside of this bucket, with beeswax with lemongrass oil mixed in. And I painted those sticks. I painted the underside of that lid. This trap here runs me about, I don't know, $7, $8 with the lid. It's a blue Lowe's bucket. and then to get aerosol black and brown and camo it a little bit. But yeah, this thing, and then they start sucking up syrup, and then the bees found it, and they're drinking a quart a day, just over, not far, a couple 100 yards over from where this bucket sits to the southeast. To the southeast is a bee tree and an oak tree. It's in an oak tree, and anyway, that's where these bees are coming from, I know. Anyway, I hope to have a swarm in this thing here in a few days, and on the waterfront, on my other location. This is also on the waterfront. There's a lot of wild swarms down on that waterfront, and I want to capitalize on that and try to catch some. And let's hope they're gentle bees. I've taken some swarms off the waterfront. Every one of these bees have been a very calm colony, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm very intrigued of the amount of bees down there. So I got my fingers crossed. We may be able to pick up one or two more swarms this season, which would be very cool. And hopefully Charlie K is going to bring me some more bees. He's brought me two nukes we're going to go into today. I store this in the refrigerator, by the way, guys. I'll let it ferment for like 3 days. See, it's kind of thin toward the top where the garlic is. But that's great medicine, guys. Great medicine. I got to show you something. I got to show you something in the barn here that my son and I tuned up yesterday. You'll like it. Okay, I don't know if you saw a video here recently where I broke this box. My son just burnt this box out. He built a new one. He made it a lot thicker. I made a big crack across here. Then I went and did something really stupid. When I was boring this hole through this pipe here, the drill motor got away from me and slammed right in the corner of that battery box. Well, that was a $130 screw up. I'll show you here. It's a 48 volt battery. And a nice screw up here. Could probably silicone that and get away with it, but I don't want to risk it. My son is an electrical engineer, computer engineer rather, and he said, Dad, don't throw that thing in the dumpster. He said, they're $130. I'll have you one here tomorrow through Amazon. Don't try to charge that thing. He said, you could cause a fire and burn down half the frickin' building and plus your mom's truck. He said, do not fool with that thing. I said, okie dokie. That's all I needed to hear. I'm not going to second guess his judgment for sure. But anyway, I found Advanced Auto Parts will take that battery. So what we did, also there was another problem here on this cart. When he originally tightened these here's some thick zip ties. See how big those zip ties are? He put some hose clamp brackets on, and then we ran the zip ties through those hose clamp to capture this battery. Plus he put on a rubber, I don't know if you can see it on the rubber thing, and it lays on that horizontal rail under there. So it's eighth by 1, which is what this is. It's under there, that battery rests on it. But when he originally tightened the first battery, he can get a little crazy with these zip ties, and they're strong. They are strong. And it crunched in the sides of the battery, compromised the casing. He didn't like that, but he said, it should be fine, So what he did when he was burning out a new copy of this box, he made these. They're just 90 degree angle irons out of this same material. He did that, but then you see here he put a little indent in the machine work. He just programs the machine, guys. hits start and walks away. Comes back, you got a box. He did the box, guys, and these angle brackets. You can see how thick they are here. You see how thick they are? He burnt those out and the box at the same time. Plus, he made this box thicker, this newer box. But what happened was, when I was working on and designing this cart fell over. I didn't have this brace on right here, this 1/8 brace. It wasn't here. This whole thing flipped up, and this bar right here slammed into this box. I heard a bam, and I said, oh man. So I picked the cart up. I didn't notice the big window I blew on the side of this box until I was working away at this, designing this configuration here. This thing, guys, you know, I just look at any problem I get into design wise. I've built all kinds of crazy stuff, but you just do it a little at a time. Say, well, let's try this. Does this work? Sometimes it don't. You got to redesign, do that. This thing came out perfect, guys. I'm telling you right now. This was not totally my idea. This was Tim. Whenever somebody gives me a tip, I always, you know, give them credit for the tip, because stuff can blow right over my head. Believe it or not, guys, things can blow right over my head. I know you find that hard for you to believe that stuff, you know, I miss stuff, okay? I know you find that hard to believe, but yes, it does, all right? So Tim Robinette, friend of mine, beekeeper, he says, Steve, when I was demoing this cart, he was saying, Steve, you're probably going to want a support wheel back here on a pivot, because you're going to be handling, you know, the balance point is that axle you see right there, across there, that axle. So you're sitting there, and so you're holding, if you put a lot of weight on that friggin' thing, say you put 4 concrete blocks on that, because you're going to be moving concrete blocks around too for your stands if you build them the way I build mine. So anyway, yeah, this wheel came in so handy and so slick. What I did originally, I came down, you can see I 90 bent this right here and here, but that put that wheel, which is this vertical kingpin, I'll call it a kingpin, it was tilted like this on a 45, just coming down to 90, this thing. All right, so when I started out with it, that thing was on a 45. Well, you turn a corner, see what happens then, that axle that's running horizontally through there would flop over, because this is a swivel wheel, see, and it would lay flat in the dirt. Boom, now you're dragging an axle through the dirt. Duh, that don't work, right? So I said, well, okay, how do I come up a simple solution? My simple solution was, and you probably saw it in another video, I took my propane torch and stuck it right here on the ground, and just so happened the height of that flame was hitting perfect right here, and I set my other torch, had 2, set one here, right here, and just watched it. I just watched it. Then I took a pipe wrench, an 18-inch pipe wrench, and I slipped it up under here, grabbed it, right, let that heat up and get it glowing a little bit, and then I grabbed the hold of the handlebars and took that pipe wrench and just started coming up. You can see where I rolled this edge, and I just kept coming up. I had a bit right here, and I rolled it up till this kingpin became vertical. When it became vertical, now that wheel is running straight up and down vertically. See, so now you can see it. See my wheel? Guys, let me tell you something. This friggin' cart is so fine-tuned now and so slick. I've been using these ramps right here, and I got these brackets here. These are, what is that? I think those are 8s. They're 2x8s. PT. And these brackets I got at Harbor Freight. Was it Harbor Freight? Yes, Harbor Freight. I got those brackets. They work slick. You got a little hole right there, you see right here, a little 1/4 inch hole right there. And you just drill that through. That lays on your tailgate. That thing drives right up on that trailer, guys. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. Now you throw this thing on here, and this bracket's sitting here coming back here. So it eats up space in your bed, truck bed. See? Not so much there. I thought about taking this loose and it would hinge here and then come up, but then you're talking more time, setup time, this and that. So I got to think, what am I saving? I'm not saving that much time and space, really. So here's the plan. Here's the plan. I can roll this thing right up on that ramp, and I split to keep from busting your ass. Okay, you put those ramps on, and there's enough spread on it to where I can put this leg between the two ramps, and I can keep both my feet on the ground and drive this cart right up inside the truck. But this thing works so good, guys. It's unbelievable now. And I've got a trailer. You know, the plan was, then I got thinking about, well, they make those, you know, those big a lot of hunting guys use the big coolers, and they put on a rack that goes inside a square hitch in your hitch there. I was thinking about getting one of those. You know, you're sitting there dropping another $250 or so into that, and you're not really saving that much room. So here's the plan right here, guys. Here's the plan. You see this cart? You see this trailer? If I want to make a major bee move, here's what I'm doing right here. This cart's going on my truck. I can put a lot of bees on that truck, right? I've got a ramp built in on the back. You can just roll this cart right off. Yes, you can. So the plan is to take this cart right here, this trailer. I got a nice ramp. You drop down, drive the trailer, drive the bees up here, and offload, stack them up, leave a lane in here, and then you're all done. Leave enough room at the ass end to put your cart in. And then when you get ready to haul ass down the highway, strap the cart to the back of the ramp. Problem solved. Problem solved. Now, if I really get squirrely, which I might, you know, sometimes Steve gets squirrely, you know. I get a little squirrely, and I start coming up and designing stuff. I built crane booms, Kelly booms, and I got to thinking about, I built them before with starter motors. Believe it or not, Ford starter motors, and you can use two solenoids and a 3-position switch. One goes, you know, one goes up and down and stuff. Look at this stuff, guys. Look at here. Brazilian pepper right there. Look at that. Brazilian pepper blooming, starting to bloom. So that's the other thing. I've got to go through these bees, and if I see a colony here that we can super up, I want to try to make some splits today. And also, if I've got a hive here that looks pretty decent, I want to super it up, try to make, we're just now starting. And down on the waterfront, I'm seeing a bunch of bloom happening, guys. Bunch of bloom. This is when it happens, September 15th. You can set your watch by it or your calendar. Brazilian pepper. Yes. If you get a strong hive guy with a good queen in there, you can make 100 pounds of honey with them, with this pepper crop. You sure can. But yeah, my thought too, you know, if I ever get really squirrely, I don't know how many colonies I'm going to get. I'm thinking about 40 colonies is going to be God's aplenty. But if I really wanted to get squirrely and make a few barrels of honey, I know the areas where I can go, but it involves travel, you know, a lot of traveling time. Moving bees and stuff on a highway is stressful. You're burning a lot of, you know, left-wing gas, which is high, you know. And I don't know, Donald, what we're doing, drill baby drill, but you promised me some good prices on fuel. I know they're coming down, but let's keep them going down, sir. You're the man, Donald. Come on, make Steve-O happy, please. Just make me happy. Come on. Just make me happy. Just make Miss Daisy happy too, because you know how her panties can get in the wad. So anyway, yeah, it's, you know, there's possibilities. We got some possibilities going on now. If we can just keep bees alive, keep the black bears off my ass, keep the hurricanes off my ass, please. Please, Lord, give Steve-O a break here. And guys, one more thing. I see so much death and carnage and sickness. I've seen so much sickness and carnage and just stupid in my life. It's crazy. It really has been crazy. It's been a crazy ride, but I love my life. I love beekeeping, guys. And you know what else I finally decided? What I really love, guys, is feeling great. You know, I've had these operations and this and that. Had the stroke thing. I'm coming through that. My strength is coming back thanks to my prayers. I think God and the Watchers, God is telling the Watchers, because I've asked him to, send me the Watchers and help guide me down the right path, okay? And because I want, guys, health, good health, and longevity. That's what it's all about, guys. This thing of going to picking up cannabis, smoking cannabis, altering your freaking brainwaves, and there's so many. I got a good old hunting buddy that he just defends cannabis, but he's just he has gotten so stupid and out of control, okay? And I don't think he's watching this video, but I wish he would, probably, because I might insult his ass into the point of changing his life around. But he's at the point where it's just about game over, okay? I haven't talked to him. Him and I parted ways, and I have parted ways, guys, with all of my people, all my friends that have crawled into the bottle. They've crawled into the Marlboros and the Winstons or whatever smoke they have, and stay with it until they drop dead, okay? I am so sick. I'm so over all of that, guys. Absolutely sick and over all of that. I've walked away from all those people. All of those people. So if you're around me and you're drinking or you're smoking and you're abusing yourself and just doing stupid shit, you'll see me just wander off into the sunset, okay? Well, what the heck? Where did old Steve-O go? Huh? What's he doing? Where did he go? I kind of like BSing him. Oh, really? Have you? I've moved on, guys. I've moved on, and I'm listening to God and the Watchers. The Watchers saying, Steve-O, listen. Sometimes they call me bro. They said, bro, listen, you're going down a dark path. You need to regroup here. So I must regroup. And the regrouping is not doing anything abusive, eat a proper human diet, and that is not the standard American diet that's laden with junk and sugar. Sugar is killing this entire nation. Yes, and you can throw honey in that mix too if you like. Oh, well, honey's a wonderful product. Eat what you want. No. God said no. No. The watchers have told me no, 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 Steve-O. No, you don't. You use that as medicine. We gave you that as a medicine. So they speak to me, okay? It finally gets into my gray matter. Used to be everything that was spoke to me came in this ear and out this ear. I didn't absorb nothing. But as we age, we have to grow up, guys. We have to grow up and get on the right page. I know. You won't fit in with the rest of your people. You started drinking and smoking and going to the bars and the nightclubs and all this, you know. Trust me, I've been there. And say you got a cute little girl or whatever you're hitting on, but that's her lifestyle, so you're following her around, okay? Doing stupid shit that you don't need to be doing. And she takes you, say, down that path. All right? No good. No. Probably the best place, and I'm not a church goer myself, but I believe in God, because the reason I do is because I'm a beekeeper. And when I stick my face inside of a beehive and I see what these wonderful creatures have done that God gave me, it blows my mind, guys. It blows my mind as to what these creatures can do. Yeah. Blows my mind. So I know that he created this most wonderful creature on planet Earth. Fascinating. So fascinating. I've raised every critter I haven't raised elephants, guys, but I've raised everything else on the planet. I'm telling you, bees are the coolest thing that God had ever created. It really is. So that's where I'm at. So I'm doing a little preaching today. I don't even go to church, guys. I don't need to. I think the man and the watchers are looking over Steve. I really do. And helping me go down this path of health and longevity. I mean, I've been on this kick for some time, but I'm really doubling down in the last, even 6 months. The last 6 months, I have really been doubling down and preaching more of health and longevity. And God didn't make us to be complicated, guys. No, he didn't make us to be complicated creatures. He just said, here's the food you should eat. He told Adam and Eve, this is the stuff I want you to eat. I don't want you to eat that over there. But Adam and Eve, got a little off track. And then Dookie hit the fan when they disobeyed God. So that's why all the way to today, we have all this stupid that's going on, death and dying, when it's just about totally self-inflicted. So I'm just telling you guys, stop smoking, okay? Here's a tip from Steve-O, and watch your life turn around. Stop smoking, stop drinking, and I'm talking wine too. Well, they said, oh, Jesus had drank wine. It's okay, he drank. No, sorry, that's not what the watchers are telling me. They said, stop drinking all of that. My drink now, guys, and I was drinking green tea, and what I was doing, okay, and I wanted a nice little bam hit, nice little bam hit of caffeine jacks you. It's like a friggin' drug. I was taking 5 bags, guys, of regular green tea, and that's high in caffeine. It's like regular coffee. I was putting 5 bags, guys, in a coffee cup topping it out. Just throw the bags in, top it out with distilled water or filtered water. Put it in the nuke for 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Pull it out, set it on the stove for 5 minutes. Then take my teaspoon, I'm smashing the bags against the side of the cup, pushing out all of that goodies in there, right? The tea goodies into that cup. Then I get my tall glass insulated, double insulated mug, fill it with ice, and pour that over top. Now I was throwing in a tablespoon of honey in there, and that was going down way too good. Yeah, no, none of that. I don't need the sugar anymore. I've gotten away from that now. And I did crave. You will crave, guys. You will crave like a freaking crackhead on crack. I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to want that sugar. You just tell your body, no, sorry. The watchers have told me, stop it, regroup. So I have. For me, guys, what happens with me, a couple things. Blood sugar goes up. I don't check blood sugar. I don't do all that. I don't need to, because my blood work, I get it done every so often, and they're checking blood sugar. I don't have a blood sugar issue, but I would if I kept up, I'm telling you. But what happens is hypertension goes up. Hypertension, no good. Right now, I'm running like 111, 116 over 65. Yeah. I've still taken medication though, hypertension medication, which is not good. But I think as time goes on and my body gets flushed of all this poison, that number is going to come down. I can probably get off all medications, I do not take cholesterol medication. I think it's a total scam, but that's just, yeah, so you guys, don't you YouTube get your little panties wadded up here. Steve-O, you're talking medical stuff. No. I'm talking about stuff that Steve-O does. What you guys do is your own thing, okay? I'm just telling you what I do. And maybe through my dumb ass, okay? Maybe you can say, well, you know, I think that Steve-O is onto something. Yeah, I think that old son of a bitch is onto something. Because everything I've tried with the big pharma doctors and all, it hasn't been working. But if I do what Steve-O's saying, I seem to be turning around my problems. Imagine that. Common sense. Can you imagine, guys, what a little common sense will do for you? It's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, I had to change batteries. I've BS so long here, I've gone into a second battery here on my camera. But I had to show you a few things. That cart, I love it, absolutely love it. Thank you, Adam, my son Adam. You're a freaking genius for helping me out, finishing that up. Most of these stuff on here was my idea, and I had an idea what I wanted to do. Just implementing them and tying it all together. But it's just absolutely, I told him, I said, you want to start building carts and selling them? Dad, I've got so much crap on my plate. I said, I get it. I get it, son. I don't want to do it either. All I want to do is work bees. I don't want to build carts, you know. But any of you guys out there, if you want, you've seen what I've got here. If you guys want to build a cart, I can show you all the components and stuff, and you can start building one. But you can basically see what I have. It's a 48 volt motor, 48 volt battery. All the components are here. I've got an on-off switch here. He told me too, by the way, that 48 volt, when you fire this thing up, you're sitting here on 54. You're sitting here on 54 volts. This thing putting out 54 volts. It's a 48 volt battery, but you're putting out 54 volts, and it's 100% on this little screen here, monitor. I have a fine-tuned knob here. We have 3 speeds. It's on speed 1. If you put it on 3, yeah, put a sulky cart behind this thing and it'll blow your freaking hair back. That 48-volt motor on chain drive scenario. Yeah, that's it. I got 3/4 shaft. You can see down there where I put in 3/4 pillow blocks here. Yes, this thing, guys, has worked so slick. It's stupid. Okay, this he fabricated with the same machine, duplicator machine. This throttle scenario, it is fantastic. It's the right heights too. This height is 36 inches off the floor. I put his big butt on her. He is 6'1", I think. I asked, what do you weigh, dude? He said, I'm bumping 235, but he's 6'1". I mean, he's a big boy. He got on that thing. Of course, when he stood on it, it did this, right? It went over. So I said, well, that's not going to work. The wheels are off the ground. So he got a hold of it. He went forward and was in this position right here. And we wheeled all the way around his house with that much weight on this cart. And this wheel went right through the grass. He's got thick grass like this. It went right through that thick grass, just slick. Slick as can be, guys. Slick as can be. So anyway, that's about it for now. I mean, I'm going to go into these hives now. I don't think, I got to hurry up because I got to get this job knocked out. The object is, if I can make some splits, I will. If not, if I got a strong one here, which pepper's just starting, I got a chance to make some honey, guys. You know, this stuff's $10 a pound. I could try to make some money and start paying some bills here, so I can super them up and let the girls have at it and try to fatten them out. So, you know, it's kind of a toss-up here, but I'm down so far on my hives, it's ridiculous. But I got hives coming in from Michigan. It's going to help me out. And the goal is to winter them, get them wintered off, and then right there at the end of February, guys, Katie by the door, we got to do some serious splitting and building up this bee operation. And we can do that because the bees are going to go into total kick-ass swarm mode, and here in Florida anyway, at the end of February. February, March, it's just kick-ass here in Florida, guys. Especially where I'm at in 9B. I'm here in 9B. Yeah, it's really kicks in high gear. We got to rock and roll then. So I'm gonna wrap up this video for today. You won't see me crawling into the bees because I'm gonna hustle out here and do what I can show you later on what I generated in the bees department out here. And but I wanted to show you these few little tricks in this cart. I'm very proud of this cart. Oh, too, one other thing before I let you go. Luna, you know, she's a Republican, and she was talking to a panel of people about, I've always been interested in extraterrestrials, and I always have known there's got to be other life forms out there. Where you probably saw it. She's questioning these guys, and they're talking about, there's one guy talking about biologics and robot crosses and this and that. And my son, which is a computer engineer, he said, Dad, I can tell you right freaking now. I asked him what his spin was on extraterrestrials. He said, they are out there, Dad. They are out there, and we are right now. He didn't say his company. I'm not going to tell you his company. But there's several companies out there that have space alien craft, and they are reverse engineering this stuff, okay? There's a lot of cool stuff coming. He said, this is a lot. Oh, he took me in a ride in his Tesla yesterday. Oh my God, guys, you wouldn't believe that vehicle. That thing is unreal. And he had all, he's just here. We went around the block. He says, all right, boom, 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 here's my home. He said, I'm hit this button, we're on autopilot. You just take off, you just sit back in the seat. It follows, guys. It follows the exact. There's like 8 cameras or some crap in that thing, and it knows where you're at. Side cameras, front, back. It's unbelievable. And it stays within speed limits, lane changes, watches traffic signals, oncoming cars, and everything. It is unbelievable, the technology of that vehicle, yes. He didn't get the boxy looking one, you know, the spacecraft looking job. It's just like a SUV. It's a car, it's basically. It's just a car. It looks like a regular car, but it's, yeah, it is unbelievable. But he said that, yes, they are reverse engineering. But he said, there's a big problem here. He said, and these spacecraft, he said, the driving mechanism in that thing is about no bigger, get this, guys, no bigger than a basketball. And these aliens that they found, these crashed craft and this and that, there are some biologics to them, but it's mostly robotics. They're robots. Because these things were invented and stuff in other galaxy planets. But he said, you know, bodies like human beings on planet Earth, you could not, your body would blow apart with the G-forces that are put on it with these spacecraft. But he said, zero, I said, well, the technology in these basketballs, what's up with that? He said it's called, they phrased it in 0 point something. Oh God, what was the term he used? Like zero energy to drive them. I says, are we picking apart the basketballs to see? Oh yes, he said that. Oh yeah, but here's the big problem. And we're getting it figured out what these extraterrestrials are doing. But he said, here's the problem. What's running this entire planet right now, he says? It's fossil fuels. If this is why our government, he said, and the planet does not want this technology right now, is for the simple fact that it would totally crash the fossil fuel industry in this country. Well, how many people are you going to put out of work with that one, he says? A ton of people. It's not going to happen, Dad. Fossil fuels aren't going away, probably not in our lifetime, but he said this is the wave of the future now. It's going to be a zero net energy. Zero net energy something. They're calling it that. Or he says it's just a made-up name that they put on it. Zero net energy, which is going to cost you nothing. So what's the force? It's very, very mind-blowing, the whole scenario. But he said, we're getting it figured out. He didn't say his company was figuring out. He said, but human beings are figuring this out because I'm in this industry, and I'm telling you right now that they're breaking it down and figuring it out, but you can't bring it to light. And that's why he says the government's not coming clean. If they said, yes, government came out tomorrow and say Mr. Trump came out there, yes, there is, for fact, there's alien life, okay? Their crafts that are spinning around here they can do this or that with it, but that would instantly crash the entire fossil fuel industry, and that's going to put so many people, you know, everybody's going to be out of work. And just think about how many products are made with fossil fuel, including big pharma, pills and stuff. So fossil fuels aren't going away. Extraterrestrial technology is coming. I find it very cool. I find it so cool of what they're pulling off. It's mind blowing. It's just like, to me, honeybees. Honeybees to me is mind blowing. That's why I've always been in it from a very young age. The fascination, the drive, the everything. They are like extraterrestrial creatures, and I'm sure God put them, say, listen, I've made extraterrestrials out, way out. Let's put a little dab of this on planet Earth to blow people's minds. And that's exactly what's happened in my mind with honeybees. And it's such a cool life. The life forms of these things is unbelievable. What they do, how they transfer eggs to flying insects, and how the queen works, and the whole bit. Pretty cool stuff, guys. And so are you guys. You guys are cool stuff for coming over on my site. I appreciate it. Hang in there. Things are going to get better. I can see it. We just gotta think positive. Don't think like a lefty. It doesn't work. Their plan doesn't work. No, it don't. So I really don't want to talk about lefties anymore on this channel. But every once in a while I have to, throw a little bit in there. A little bit. All right, guys. God loves you. Steve-O loves you. And I'll see you real soon on the next one. Bye-bye.